On to some other news here happening tonight, and the president delivered his State of the Union address. He defended his record, and he also laid out his agenda. Dick Brennan is here now with more on tonight's events in Washington.
Yes, Christine, it was a long speech. President Trump broke the record for the longest State of the Union speech. This one, an hour and 47 minutes. Things did get ugly at times with the president attacking Democrats, but some fired back, creating sparks in the chamber.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
President Trump giving his first State of the Union address of his second term.
Members of Congress, the state of our union is strong.
The president touted his achievement on the border.
We now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far.
But a flashpoint erupted when the president called for an end to sanctuary cities, triggering a response from Congresswoman Ilhan Omar of Minnesota.
That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious.
President Trump referenced the ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court striking down his tariff program, while four of the justices sat stone-faced right in front of him. But he avoided any personal attacks like the ones he made last week.
And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court.
On the economy, polling shows a majority of Americans are unhappy with the condition of it. The president tried to take the offensive, blaming Democrats for high health care costs and touting his Wall Street success.
The stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up.
The administration has been threatening new military action against Iran, and Mr. Trump says he's still in negotiations with Tehran about ending their nuclear ambitions.
My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
Mr. Trump also gave tribute to Charlie Kirk and saluted his wife, Erica.
My great friend, Charlie Kirk, a great guy, great man.
And one of the longest outpourings from both sides of the aisle came when the president introduced the U.S. Olympic men's gold medal hockey team. The president said he's going to give the USA hockey goalie the Presidential Medal of Freedom, among many honors handed out. By the way, Christine, he also said that he's inviting the U.S. women's hockey team, who also won the gold medal, to the White House.
Yes, I heard that as well, which was nice to hear that they're going to be recognized along with the men.
Yeah.
A lot of medals, as you mentioned, were handed out tonight. There was
Felt like the Olympics, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but just some of the service people that were recognized for their sacrifice.
Real American heroes, and it's nice to see that because these are the people who do great work. But what's interesting is the State of the Union also does manage to show just how divided the State of the Union is when one side does not applaud and the other does.
Noted. Thank you, Dick. Well, following the president's speech, Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger gave the Democratic Party response.
Is the president working to keep Americans safe, both at home and abroad? We all know the answer is no. In his speech tonight, the president did what he always does. He lied, he scapegoated, and he distracted. And he offered no real solutions to our nation's pressing challenges, so many of which he is actively making worse. He tries to divide us. He tries to enrage us, to pit us against one another, neighbor against neighbor.
Spanberger, who is Virginia's first female governor, also countered Trump's economic policies. Also tonight, about 24 Democrats gathered on the National Mall to boycott the president's State of the Union address. 5 Democrats from our area attended this rally, 2 from New York, 2 from New Jersey, and 1 from Connecticut. Organizers say it's the largest organized boycott of any State of the Union ever. For more analysis on the State of the Union tonight, just head to CBSNewYork.com. There you can read the CBS News live blog.